Good morning and welcome to this weekly markets update from AGM Markets. Today is the 18th of July 2014. What I'm going to do today is go through some technical analysis on Euro dollar, cable, dollar Swiss, Aussie and gold. Just going to review what's been going on in the markets this week. Doing this video on a Friday, so just going to pretty much review what's been going on in the markets. We'll try and do the video next Tuesday as normal. Still had some technical difficulties at the start of this week, so I thought I'd do a sort of review video. I'll not make any trade calls recommendations in this video. You do trade at your own risk. If you could please read our full disclaimer on our website, that would be mostly appreciated. That's at www.agmmarkets.com. For any new followers out there, we have 3 moving averages on each of these charts. The red one is a 50 simple moving average, the purple is 100, and the gold is a 200. Okay, let's have a look at the euro dollar. So all these charts, I've just got clean charts at the minute, so you can see where I've sort of drawn levels, etc. from. Okay, so let's have a look at euro dollar. So this is the weekly. I've just zoomed in here. So in terms of sort of the recent sort of candle action, you can see we had that close below a couple of weeks ago, closed below the 50-week moving average. Last week's weekly candle, I did have a bit of green body in, but it's still had some upper wick. And you can see this week we've just fallen, and we're now testing this previous support. And what is that previous support? Well, first of all, you can see from a fib, I'm just going to add the 38.2. What have we been speaking about? Is this move here. So this is the fib from the 2013 lows, or 2013 lows, sorry, to the 2014 high. And you can see this key level pretty much, it's just above the 135 handle. So you're talking 1.35, 32s here. You can see there we had three candles pierce this level and hold above, and you can currently see that we're testing it at the minute. Also, what's interesting to note is if you draw a trend line from the 2012 low, connect it with the 2013 low, you can also see that we're pretty much, I think it's a few pips shy, but it's very, well actually no, it's pretty much on it. So yes, you can see that. So we've got a nice bit of confidence in the minute. So this end of the week, it will be quite interesting to see where the weekly candle closes. If we do get a weekly candle close above the 38.2, then I wouldn't be surprised to see a brief sort of bounce. But I mean, it is quite a heavy candle, and the lower wick will sort of determine it. I mean, obviously, if we get a massive reversal today, which it could happen because it's Friday, end of the week, so you do get some profit taken quite frequently. So we could get a reversal candle here, but it's very, very key, definitely, this weekly candle close in terms of where we should, what should happen next week. But I'll do the video early next week so we can sort of analyse that. And that's pretty much, I mean, what else has been going on the euro? So I've just flipped it towards a daily. You can see there with a couple of days ago we had that test. We have actually had a close below this level, where yesterday's daily candle was actually closed below, so do keep that in mind. But you can see on the 4-hour chart there, you can see this current 4-hour candle is quite bullish, and we are actually above that trend line as well. So it is getting quite interesting. I'd be surprised to see some sort of retracement today, definitely. And if we do, then there's a lot of aggressive sellers. I would have thought we'd be looking at this sort of fib move here. So I'm just going to take the 38.2 off of that, because we do got, it's nice to keep it nice and simple in these videos. Just look at sort of one sort of retracement zone. So that's a fib move there. And then you've got that other one there, which I thought a lot of people would be looking at. But in terms of what else, the other sort of fib move that's been in play is this fib move here. So I've just flipped it to the daily. I'll zoom back out so you can see that even clearer. So it's that move there. And if you had the third time, I should put the 38.2 back on here. You can see where we've sort of sold off and the reason why. And it's that move there. So we had that lovely, this was, well, it's been the sort of last sort of few weeks really, but it's followed on this week. So we had that, so this is the sort of start of July, so we've retraced up here. We tested this 38.2 level, which was at one spot 36.90s, 200-day moving average, and we've sort of grinded lower. In terms of small fib moves, so we've had small fibs inside the bigger one. You can see this small one here pretty much sort of got sold off here at the sort of the 50%, 61.8% zone. So a small little fib move there, and bang, we've come down. Remember we had this move last week. Can't remember if I spoke about it or not, but this small move here, so I'm just going to take the 38.2 back off so you can see it clearer. So that move there, so we had a nice uptrend there, pretty much the uptrend of June. Then we start to retrace start of July, and then bam, that candle there, nice reversal candle off the 61.8. We had a brief pop up, so next couple of days, and then it came back down, tried to get some more support for the 50%, but we sort of grinded lower, the sort of 50-day moving average as well, capping it. So yeah, I mean, we're at a key support. You can see just clearly just from looking at the left here, you've had these key candle spikes at around the current levels. I mean, we have had a daily candle close below here, but well, below the previous candles, because that was it there. If you're looking at the sort of daily candle closes, we are below that, and we're actually testing this. It could act as new resistance, but in terms of Friday going into, I mean, it's being the end of the week, I'd be surprised to see some profit taken and see a brief bounce up. But the weekly candle will be interesting because it is currently very heavy, and it looks like, I think maybe that we could go down towards the 50% here. We do have some previous resistance at the 50% as well, sort of previous support around here as well. And of course the 100-day moving average coincides in between this level with the 200-day just above as well. Price does like to come back towards these sort of key moving averages. So, and the fact that we've had a close below this 50-week moving average, last week's candle came up and tested it as well, and we've fallen this week. It is quite a bearish sign, but you never know. So that's pretty much it in terms of euro dollar. Let's flip it to cable and what's going on. We can see we are this week. We are starting to see a bit of retrace. I mean, it's a very small retrace, but bearing in mind this has been such a strong uptrend, it would be healthy to see some sort of retracement here on this weekly chart and a move back towards the sort of moving averages, or I mean this sort of move there. I'd not be surprised to see that, but of course we're a long way away from that right now. But in terms of picking biases for the week, you have to be very brave to keep on buying cable. I mean, of course, the dips have been working. I mean, what have we been speaking about in terms of dips? These sort of small ones here. So that was the first one of the year. Of course, these are much bigger on the daily chart. I'll just flip it towards the daily so you can see they're much bigger moves. They do look very small weekly. So that was the first move there. Now, if you extend the high, of course, we had that move there. So the next low would be this low for a lot of people, I'd have thought. And then you extend the high there. So let's say if we have topped out, that's the move to keep an eye out for, I think. And you can see it clearer there. I've just flipped it to the daily. So we do have previous support at that 50% as well. And we've got some previous resistance sort of lining up with these levels as well. So that comes around the sort of one spot 69.42. You can see this week it has been very choppy, chopping in between the sort of the 171 marker. So 171's been a key level, and then of course you got 171.50s as well. Bam. So it's just been quite choppy. You can see, I mean, if I flip it to the short-term time frame, you can see you had some sort of previous support there, sort of fake out closes above. It has been quite choppy, but it is struggling to make a move higher. Yesterday's daily candle was quite heavy. You can see today we've actually, similar to Euro, we've come up here, tested a key support which could act as new resistance now. We could fall down here, but yeah, so keep an eye on that. I wouldn't be surprised to see next week perhaps it could sell off, come towards this fib, but that's definitely the fib to look out for anyway, I think. And of course we're miles away from these moves here, but in terms of sort of doing these videos on a weekly basis, I think that's the next sort of key fib to look out for. A lot of people I would have thought would be looking at these sort of smaller moves here, taking these sort of smaller dips. I'm not personally a fan of them because they're not that clear swing lows, but you can see we had a small move there, tested the 50%. I mean, if you flip it to the sort of 4-hour chart, you can see pretty much the low of the 4-hour charts are the high. You can see the other day we had that test of the 50%, nice lower wick candle there. I mean, it's not a green body, but it's a pretty decent reversal. We had a very quick move up there, so classic sort of scalping opportunity. But now we're just sort of chopping in between these sort of zones. And the other level to keep an eye out for is and what has been interesting this week is the ones 70-50s as well. We haven't quite tested it, but you can see it's definitely one to keep an eye out for. You can see its previous resistance as well if you look to the right, to the left here of your chart. But yeah, it's been quite choppy cable. Dollar Swiss has been very interesting, I think, on this weekly. What have we been speaking about is this fib here. Remember, we had that a couple of weeks ago, the lovely reversal candle there. And you can see last week's candle, pretty much continuation pattern, no green body, but a bit of lower wick there. So the buyers are coming in. And you can see this week it's just it's popped up nicely. You can see we're on this sort of 50-week moving average. We haven't quite, well, pretty much have tested it. But I wouldn't be surprised to see over the next couple of weeks a weekly close above this 50-week moving average and then grind higher towards these sort of moving averages here, the 100 and 200. Interestingly, actually, the 100 has crossed below. Or actually, no, where the 200 is sort of crossed below the 100. So some people may see that as a sign, a sell signal. And of course, we had that 50-week moving average cross below the 100 as well. But in terms of this fib move, if you flip it to the daily as well, it's a very textbook move. It's just the fib from the low of 2014 to the high. Lovely uptrend, retraced down to 50%. Lovely reversal candle, which we spoke about there. We've rotated higher. Interesting as well in terms of shorter term moves. So fibs in between big sort of bullish fibs. That was a classic one there. We had this week. So nice uptrend, retraced down to 50%. Lovely sort of reversal candle there, and bang, a pop up all in one day towards that 0% line. You can see it as well on the sort of 4-hour chart. Nice. Well, not a clear reversal there, tricky one. But it did coincide with the 0.89 level as well, I think. Yeah, pretty much the 0.89. So nice spike there, close above, rotation towards the upside. So the next sort of fib move, if you're just sort of playing dips, sort of recent dips, that would be the next move. So we're taking the low from the bounce, and we're then taking the new, the recent swing high. So that's the move to look out for there, I think. That 50% comes in at 0.8943 there. And that's pretty much it on the dollar Swiss. It's still looking very bullish. So it looks like we're going to get some sort of retrace today. Sort of end of week sort of profit taking on these sort of bullish moves here. You can see yesterday's daily candle. A lot of people say that's a sort of reversal. I mean, the buyers have still come in, but sort of like a spinning top candle. So a bit of indecision in there, a bit of a red candle. I think today's got retrace written all over it. Aussie dollar on the weekly, still chopping around a bit, nothing too interesting. What have we had? I mean, a couple of weeks ago, that sort of reversal candle there at, I think that's a key level. Yeah, the 0.9450s pretty much. Yeah, 0.9450, nice reversal there. It's pretty much, I mean, it's pretty much a doji candle this week. No green or red body on this candle. In terms of the sort of the shorter term moves, what has been interesting, remember we spoke about this small fib move here a couple of weeks back. It's a nice uptrend, retraced down to 50%, rotated higher. If you extend the high here, you can now see that when we have sort of closed below the 50% here, but you can see this 50-day moving average, that's a nice confluence. We're trying to get a bit of a pop up here, and of course you have the 100-day moving average here as well. So nice test of that. We could get a nice sort of rotation up, or definitely towards the 94.50s. Wouldn't be surprised to see that get tested. In terms of the sort of counter moves, in terms of the fibs, I've just flipped it to the 4-hour now. So this was the sort of the first move there, but I mean it's a very aggressive spike. That was some overnight data. So we spiked above to 61.8, tested 94.50, sort of closed below, made a brief retracement towards the downside. If you then extend the fib down and take the new move, then you're sort of looking at this sort of 50% here. I haven't quite tested it, but these moving averages have been acting very nice actually. Sort of the 200 SMA and the 50 SMA there. So you had that nice reversal candle there the other day, and a brief retracement towards the downside. But buyers still coming in on this Aussie, is sort of propping it up at the sort of the 0.9340s. They had decent support on the 4-hour. Lovely sort of scalping opportunity. So nice 4-hour candle there, nice retracement towards the upside, and again here it's already happened. Nice sort of lower wicks piercing that level, closing above, forming some decent bullish candles and some nice pops towards the upside there. So yeah, I mean on Aussie it's all about just playing the chop, really playing the key levels. 0.9450, 0.9340s. What else? I mean, where if you draw it at 0.94, what's for zero? I can't remember if there's been any sort of scalping opportunities. I'm sure there has. If you flip it to the sort of 4 hour, 1 hour, put it back on that 4 hour there, you can see that sort of price action there. Multiple tests of this level, closes below, and retracements towards the downside. So I mean, you can see here classic action here, lovely reversal candles there, grinding higher towards the sort of 0.94. And sort of people banking their profits, coming back down, and then sort of fibs. I think that was a smaller fib here. I think that might have been the 78.6. But anyway, some interesting levels, lots of scalping opportunities. I mean, in choppy markets, it's actually a lot of the time it's very easy to trade, I think, because you just play the levels and just. So, for example, this one here, the 0.9340s, wait for a reversal candle, stops below, and bang, take I'm going to take sort of like 50 pips or what have you. And then bank at sort of like key resistances. That's just one way to play it. Anyway, let's flip it to gold. So we've done the forex now. What's been going on gold? So we had this sort of move here, but that didn't really play out in terms of fibs. We did have brief holds at the 50%, but remember we had what's the key level? I think it was 1240s key support, grinded higher. And then we were looking at this move here, but it hasn't been playing out in terms of fibs. I mean, we have sort of had some sort of interesting action at the 61.8 there. But the interesting fib move now, I think, is this one here. So that move there, that recent swing low to recent swing high. It's all about just when you draw these fibs, just if they react, and then they react, sometimes they don't. This one here, it's reacted. You've got a key sort of spike below here. Test the 50-day moving average, close above, and you're getting a brief pop up here. So lovely uptrend, retracement down to 50-day moving average. Nice moving average confluence. We're starting to get some bullish action here. If you flip it to the 4 hour chart as well, it's pretty much the fib here is the low of the 4 hour chart to the high of the 4 hour chart. Lovely candle action there. I'll zoom back in actually so you can see a bit clearer. It's a nice sort of small reversal candle there off the 200 SMA as well on this 4 hour chart. So more moving average confluence areas there, and we've had a nice pop up. So, and the sort of counter move here, I'm not sure if it is a fib, I can't remember now. Yeah, it is. Surprise, surprise, off the 61.8 to the pip there. Nice sort of reversal candle there, although it did close above the 50%, so I'm normally a bit cautious on those ones, and it had a bit of some moving averages there as well. So we reversed off this 61.8, closed above the moving averages. I would have thought we'd be chopping around on that candle there. Yeah, you can see around that sort of 1 hour. But then as soon as we close below, so I've just flipped it to the 1 hour, as soon as we've closed below this 50% here, you can see we're starting to slide. And then the other sort of, I mean, gold's been very technical in terms of this sort of 1 hour chart. There's the small, every time frame it's been very technical. We had this fib move here. This is on the 1 hour, so nice uptrend here. Retracement down to the 50%, and bang, we closed, spike below, close above, rotated high here, and really had an aggressive move towards the upside. So the next one to look out for, I mean, well, I personally look at that one there, but it's all about seeing which ones react. This is another classic example of a small fib. We're already seeing this 50% get tested, pierces below and closes above. So I wouldn't be surprised to see rotation towards the upside here on this gold. But then again, it may want to come down to this one, so you have to be careful. Okay, then that's it. Actually, let's have a quick flip towards the weekly chart. What's going on the weekly in terms of the sort of candle action? So yeah, interestingly, actually, you can see this. It's that fib move we've been speaking about. So that's the one on the 4 hour and the daily. We had the 50-week moving average here. It's coinciding with this level. So if we get a weekly close above or a nice sort of reversal here, I mean, it's already formed a nice lower wick. Then bias could be towards the upside. So that would sort of reinforce the view of that fib there. So the same move, you can see it on the 4 hour as well. No wonder we're sort of grinding towards the upside here, needing those small fibs there. No wonder people are coming in early on these sort of small dips here. So yeah, would not be surprised to see this move here grind higher and take out that sort of 0% line, which is at the 1324s. Okay, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful. Hope you've had a good week trading. If there's any other pairs that you want me to have a look at next week, then feel free to comment under the YouTube channel, which is AGM Markets, or send us a tweet to our Twitter feed, which is at AGM Markets. Hope you have a great rest of the week trading. Hope you have a good weekend, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching.